Super Mario Bros. Movie franchise is hands down one of the best in animation history, even though it's still pretty brand new. But did you know that several lost characters from the Mario franchise have been forgotten in the games and cartoons, but might actually show up in the next Plumbing Brothers movie scheduled for 2028? Koopa Kids. In Super Mario Galaxy the movie, Bowser Jr., the Koopa King's favorite son, made his big debut in the film franchise. However, before him, Nintendo had created other groups of child Koopas whose primary role was to serve Bowser. But one of these groups of Koopa children vanished over 20 years ago and hasn't been seen since. These are the Koopa Kids, who were originally created to be Bowser's direct assistants and board game henchmen in the game Super Mario Party back in 1998. After that, they appeared in every Mario Party game up until the 7th installment in 2000. At first, they were just NPCs who set traps for players, but in Mario Party 5 and 6, they actually became playable characters in green, blue, and red versions. However, they were completely erased from subsequent games, and no one has seen them for over 2 decades. The reason? There were just too many versions of Bowser's kids, like Bowser Jr. himself, the Koopalings, who will likely be in the 3rd Mario movie, and Baby Bowser, the infant version of the Koopa King. Game fans theorize that the Koopa Kids are stuck in a sort of Nintendo Phantom Zone, but they could return in the next Mario movie as a group of botched clones of Bowser Jr. in a master plan to defeat Team Mario once and for all. Baby Wario. Another character who is a huge candidate for being one of the villains in the Super Mario Bros. Movie 3 is definitely Wario, Mario's polar opposite. However, with the appearance of Baby Mario and Baby Luigi in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, a lost character associated with the brothers' rival was finally remembered. We're talking about Baby Wario, who appeared in the 2006 game Yoshi's Island DS. In that game, he's one of the babies kidnapped by Kamek, but he eventually gets rescued by the stork and joins the group of babies riding on Yoshi's back. He carries a giant magnet that attracts coins, proving that Wario has loved money and gold since he was a tiny tot. But after that, while other babies, like Baby Peach, Baby Rosalina, and Baby DK, became regulars in the series in games like Mario Kart or Mario Baseball, Baby Wario was left gathering dust for over a decade until finally returning in 2019 in the game Dr. Mario World. The catch? The game was so bad that its servers were shut down forever, sending Baby Wario back into the void of the forgotten. Since Wario will be in the next movie, and Yoshi still has the weapon that turns people into babies, there's a huge chance that Wario might accidentally turn himself into Baby Wario after stealing the gun and misfiring it. Or he could simply appear in a flashback where the adult villain tells the sad story of his past, back when he and Mario played together and he always got the short end of the stick. It would definitely be cool to see him back. Besides the Koopa Kids and Baby Wario, there are plenty of other lost Mario characters you probably have no clue about. Get ready because we're about to blow your mind, Tatanga! Now let's talk about the big bad from the 1989 game Super Mario Land, which, by the way, will likely be the name of the next movie in the franchise. In that game, this alien with hypnotic powers was the primary villain responsible for taking over Sarasaland, the kingdom of Princess Daisy. After being defeated, he returned 3 years later in Super Mario Land 2 seeking revenge. He set himself up as the boss of the Space Zone, revealing himself to be a henchman hired by Wario to distract Mario. Since we saw Princess Daisy appear in the post-credits scenes of Super Mario Galaxy, it goes without saying that there's a high chance Tatanga shows up in the next movie, especially if he and Wario become partners in crime again, just like in Super Mario Land 2. Perry the Parasol. One of the coolest things about Super Mario Galaxy was definitely seeing Mario and Peach get closer. It starts with the plumber giving the princess a customized pink umbrella, which she uses quite a bit to beat down King Wart's minions. But few people remember, or even know, that besides her pink umbrella, the Sovereign of the Toads owned an extremely powerful yellow parasol named Perry. With a deep backstory, Perry was created for the game Super Princess Peach, where this time, the princess is the one who has to rescue Mario, Luigi, and Toad after they are kidnapped by Bowser. Actually, the parasol was once a human boy with magical gifts who had been adopted by a mysterious old man, until Kamek cast a curse that transformed the boy into an umbrella. After the transformation, he ended up lost on the street, was picked up by a merchant, and sold to Toadsworth, who gave him to Peach to help her rescue her friends. The saddest thing about Perry is that even after finishing the game and defeating Bowser, the curse isn't broken, and he remains trapped in the form of a talking umbrella. So how could Perry show up in Super Mario 3? After so many battles, Peach's umbrella is bound to break at some point. While entering Kamek's vault of magical items, the princess could find Perry, take him along, and have him help her rescue her friends. Of course, unlike the games, at the end of the movie, we'd see the cosmic power of sisters Peach and Rosalina transform him back into a human boy. Now that is a worthy ending for Perry, wouldn't you agree? Toadsworth. Speaking of him, another missing character who hasn't been seen in the games for years, and certainly hasn't appeared in the movies, is the famous Toadsworth. He's the experienced mushroom who is part foster father, part butler to Princess Peach. Not seen since the 2013 game Mario and Luigi Dream Team, the loyal royal servant was actually slated to debut in the 2023 Super Mario Bros. Movie, and was even featured in the film's concept art. Who knows? In the adventure we just mentioned with Perry, maybe he could be the one responsible for finding the Parasol Boy and handing him over to Peach, just like in the games. If you're enjoying the video, subscribe to the channel now so you don't miss any new videos. Princesses. Princesses in distress needing a rescue are a dime a dozen in Mario games, and one small, literally group of them was also forgotten by Nintendo after the 2013 game Super Mario 3D World, only making tiny cameos in 2 other games. We're talking about the 7 princesses, the rulers of the kingdom who are imprisoned by Bowser in glass jars. Here's a fun fact. You know those transparent tubes called clear pipes that we see in the games and the Mario movie used for travel? They were built by the 7 princesses. And that could be the perfect setup for the appearance of this little group of fairies. They could be kidnapped by one of the villains in the next movie to build an intricate maze of clear pipes for their nefarious goals, which we don't quite know yet. The Chimp showed up in Super Mario Galaxy, revealing himself to be quite the light-fingered thief. But he is far from being the first primate to make an appearance in the franchise, aside from Donkey Kong and his crew, of course. However, unlike Ukiki and DK, other monkeys in the game series have been completely forgotten. This is the case with the Chimp, a blue monkey who is an intergalactic nomad traveling from galaxy to galaxy. In the next Mario movie, the Chimp could show up to visit his simian cousin, Ukiki, only to find out he got beaten not once, but twice, by Peach and Rosalina. To save the family honor, he travels in his ship to both kingdoms to challenge Mario to a competition of agility, jumping, and strength, just like he does in the game Super Mario Galaxy 2. Of course, after losing, they'd probably become friends, and the Chimp could help the Plumbers team save Daisy's kingdom Guppy. It's clear that the second Mario movie was inspired by the franchise's galactic games, but that doesn't mean some characters didn't get left out. This is exactly the case with Guppy, an orca whale who kicked the penguins, the same ones seen in both Mario movies, out of the Sea Slide Galaxy, which is essentially a giant ring of water. As an aquatic enemy, we could see him appearing in the third movie as the gatekeeper of a sea passage. To gain access, our heroes would have to beat him in an ocean race. That's when Frog Luigi would leap into action, narrowly beating the bully orca and securing the access Team Mario needs to reach their goal in the new film, MC Ballyhoo and Big Top. Many believe the next Mario movie might be inspired by Super Mario Odyssey, where our hero is accompanied by Cappy, a hat with a life of its own. What few remember is that 10 years earlier, in the game Mario Party 8, another duo with the exact same characteristics was created by Nintendo, only to be completely forgotten after the 27 game. We're talking about MC Ballyhoo and Big Top, the master of ceremonies and his completely wild magical top hat. In the game, the duo owns the Star Carnival, which is a massive amusement park. If you think about it, on Bowser's planet in Super Mario Galaxy, the Koopa King's son built a huge amusement park that looks a lot like MC Ballyhoo and Big Top's Star Carnival. What if that park, which ended up covered in plants at the end of the movie, didn't actually belong to Bowser Jr.? What if he had just rented the rides from Nintendo's forgotten duo? If that's true, they'll probably head to the intergalactic prison to collect payment for their rides. From there, who knows? Maybe an alliance forms to steal the treasures of the Mushroom Kingdom as compensation. Wanda, the last forgotten Nintendo character in the Mario franchise, is the sweet and cute fairy Wanda. This magical girl's first and only appearance was in the 1993 game Mario and Wario, which was only released in Japan. She was responsible for guiding a blinded Mario, making her the actual playable character of the game instead of Mario himself. Wanda is important because before the Sprixie princesses from Super Mario 3D World, who we already talked about, were even a thought, she was the first fairy to have a prominent role in the franchise's universe. In a future movie, Wanda could be summoned by Rosalina. From a distance, Rosalina realizes that thanks to one of Bowser Jr.'s plans, Mario is temporarily blinded and lost. The little fairy could save our hero and guide him back to find his friends at the Comet Observatory, where Peach is waiting with open arms, which would definitely make Wanda a little jealous.